nake Mario na lembie. Ohoro wanyu ni wajiko. Now mothe, I will be doing a first of many fragrance videos. Mimi napenda marashi by the way sana, napenda kunukia. Napenda watu na vitu ambazo zinanukia. In my opinion, I feel like smelling good is an indication of someone who takes care of themselves, someone who values their personal grooming. So in pursuit of wanting to learn more about perfumery and wanting to learn more about fragrances, I looked up articles and research papers on how perfumery as an art came to be. As I was watching, especially on YouTube, I realized that a lot of fragrance lovers would only show perfumes that are made in Europe or the US, basically just white countries, which made me wonder. Ni mimi tu nimeona hiyo lint ikipita pambele. I was like, kwani uko hatujui kutengeneza marashi ama? You cannot convince me that the whole of the continent hakuna perfumeries na hakuna fragranticians na hakuna watu ambao wana kipawa. And I just went into this rabbit hole of looking into the history of perfumery, specifically in Africa. And seeing now that we're living in the age of the internet, I got a sponsored ad for fragrances. I realized that these fragrances were actually a Kenyan brand, which got me excited. Nikapitia kwa mtandao, nikaangalia Instagram yao, and I was impressed because I've been asking myself, I can't buy fragrances from a Kenyan-based perfume house. Juu hakuna ama. Found out they had a physical store in Githurai 45, but they also had a drop-off point in Star Mall, and I went to visit the place. At first I thought that was like another branch of their store, but it's only when I got there that I found out that it was a pickup point. However, they have all the samples of all their perfumes. The brand is called Elad Perfumes. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be pronounced as Elad or Elad. They have 8 fragrances. I managed to get 2. They were so good, and I was thoroughly impressed by the quality of their fragrances, their packaging. But before we actually get into these fragrances, I would like us to educate ourselves on some terms you'll commonly hear in perfumery circles or things that have to do with fragrances and perfumes and scents. Haya, leo nitakuwa mwalimu wenyu, mwalimu wa jiko. Actually hata sioni. Okay. Ya kwanza ni note, or rather a perfume note. It's an individual ingredient that is found in a fragrance. There's 3 types of notes that you'll hear about in fragrances. First one is top note. These are the notes that are smelled immediately after application and persist for about 10 to 20 minutes, depending on the wearer's skin pH. You'll find that perfumes, the longevity and how they smell usually depends on a person in relation to your skin's pH, which ultimately affects how a fragrance wears on you. The second one is middle notes, or the heart notes. They appear after about 20 minutes and persist for about an hour. It is also known as the essence of the perfume. This is what you would mostly say is the actual smell of the perfume. After the top notes disappear, that's what comes out. So you'll find that sometimes you don't like the top notes of a perfume, but after they go away, the middle notes or the heart notes are what you actually enjoy. The third and last one are the base notes. So these are the notes that persist the longest and are made up of oil essences that don't evaporate and are not volatile. Like that's the last set of notes that you'll smell. Hiyo kitu ingine tutaongelelea ni something called perfume accords. This is a blend of multiple fragrance notes to represent a facet or characteristic of the fragrance. Akinasikia nikana soma science, but this is science, and me I'm a geek. I'm a science geek. Mimi ni mwana sayansi, by the way. Different perfume accords that you'll hear about are fruity, florals, and under florals you'll find either white florals or yellow florals. We also have musky, animalic. Animalic perfumes are those that have like a skunk. No, rewa umwai nusa kitu, it almost stinks. Animalic perfumes are not everyone's taste for sure, and you'll find a lot of oud perfumes under this accord. Woody, leathery, oriental, fresh, aromatic, powdery, gourmand, na zingine zinginezo. So one fragrance could be fruity, floral, powdery, and oriental. The last thing I'm going to talk about is different concentration of fragrance oils. This further categorizes perfumes into 3 types. The first one, which is the most concentrated, is a parfum or an extrait de parfum. This is a perfume that has a fragrance oil concentration of 20% to 40%. The second one is an EDP or an eau de parfum. This one has fragrance oil concentration of between 15 to 20%. The last one is an EDT or an eau de toilette, which has a fragrance oil of between 5% and 15%. Hivyo vile nimezitaja, the longevity inaenda ikishuka. So parfum is the longest performing fragrance, followed by EDP, followed by EDT. That also plays into intensity and also the depth of the fragrance. Now let's see the scents. Let's actually see the scents and talk about the scents. These were the 2 scents that I got. I'll start with this one. This is called Sensila. This is what it looks like. The packaging is quite cute, also quite simple, but in a good way. It does the job. I like this font. The font is very, very, very cute. The juice inside is like a light baby pink. The bottle is also very simple, pretty. Top notes are blackcurrant and pear. Heart notes are iris. Iris is a mahua. Usually gives fragrances this powdery element to it. Second one is jasmine, which is a white floral. The third one is orange blossom. Orange blossom are the leaves of bitter orange trees. The base notes are praline, ni candy. It's a sweet. Tonka bean is a note that gives fragrances this nutty, sometimes spicy, woody element. The fourth base note is patchouli. Patchouli is a leaf in the mint family, and it gives fragrances this earthy smell. First of all, very good atomizer that releases the juice inside in a mist form, which I usually prefer. I would not advise you to hold the bottle by the cap because it does not support the weight of the bottle. The first thing I get is the florals and the fruits. Instantly you can tell that there's lots of matunda, mahua. The berry element of the perfume is also very, very dominant. It's definitely sweet for sure, but you can smell the earthiness. I feel like a note that really persists is the blackcurrant. Like you can smell the berries all through. Then the florals are definitely very, very present. And that earthiness is in the background, which I feel like balances out the fragrance. I'd say the longevity of this scent is more or less about 12 hours, which is classy, elegant. It lasts for long. And I feel like it would appeal to a lot of people, especially people who like sweet scents that are in the fruity floral category. Such a gorgeous scent. It's also a very safe blind buy if you know that the person likes sweet, fruity floral scents. And the next one, which I am so excited to unbox and finally start using, is Gold Mist, also by Elad. More or less has similar packaging in a different color. Actually, the boxes have like a different texture. This one has like a more shiny outer cover, and this is more matte. This is Gold Mist. Juice is gold, cover is gold, bottle is pretty much the same as the other one. Oh. Honestly, for me, this perfume was love at first sniff. Oh. I can smell it from here. It's making me so happy. It's a bit more fitting than the other one, though I still wouldn't advise you to pick up the bottle using the cup. Yeah. Again, good quality atomizer. Okay, let's read the notes for this. So I actually asked the owner for all the perfume notes, so I'm not making this shit up. She sent me like photos, and I realized that for this specific perfume, she didn't categorize the perfume notes either top, heart, or base notes. However, the photos she sent me had perfume accords for this fragrance, and they are animalic, white floral, woody, tropical, and musky. The notes are listed as tuberose, which is a white floral, amber, coconut, and leather. I am a sucker for perfumes with coconut notes. I love everything coconut, coconut oil, actual coconuts, coconut rice, coconut beans. Ooh. I can smell like cinnamon. Cinnamon is not listed in the notes, but not cinnamon, licorice, sweet, spicy, a bit fruity, unique scent. But I feel like it calms down a little bit. The initial smell will be polarizing to some people and a bit strong, but it settles down to be very beautiful. This would suit like an evening event where it's a bit chilly. Considering the weather has been very warm during the day, it still has this tropical quality to it. Like these two sprays are so potent, which I like because that means I don't have to wear a lot, and I usually like my scents to project. Value for money because I won't have to wear too much to leave a scent trail. Definitely not a safe blind buy, but as I mentioned, the scents are all at the pickup point. I have like tester strips that I carry home just so I can also smell base notes, so I can really determine if I really like this perfume. Overall, absolutely gorgeous. They retail for 1,500 a piece, which is mind-blowing for me. I mean, the quality, the longevity, and the fact that you'll also be supporting a Kenyan brand is an added plus. They're both 100 mls, which is a standard size for most fragrances. The tagline for Elad is authentic, unique, and irresistible, and I agree with all three of these. Buy Kenyan, consume Kenyan. Remove that mentality that we can't make quality things because we can. Let's be the pioneers of this beautiful continent. That marks the end of this review. Please recommend more Kenyan brands if you come across any. There's one more that I also saw and I'd want to purchase their products soon. Come do a review also. Hiya. See you next time. Kwaheri.